Memphis Grizzlies guard Dillon Brooks has quickly become one of the most hated players in today's NBA. In recent months, he has had several notable encounters with both famous spectators and his NBA opponents. He even pushed an innocent cameraman sitting courtside. Brooks has racked up an incredible $250K in fines and suspensions this season alone, and his response to it all? It's just paper. During his college days at Oregon, Dillon was known as Dillon Brooks. If you ask the NBA players, they may also have a few choice words to describe the relentless Canadian. But one thing's for sure, this guy knows how to hoop, and he's not afraid to get in your face while doing it. To get a better understanding of how the 27-year-old developed his competitive and sometimes questionable style of play, we have to take a quick trip down memory lane. Dillon Brooks was born on January 22, 1996 in Ontario, Canada, and his mother, Anita Diane, played a significant role in his development and could be tough on him at times. For instance, on a snowy day when they had to travel 45 minutes to get him to his basketball practice, Dillon suggested turning back, but Diane gave him an ultimatum. If he showed signs of quitting ever again, she would never drive him to another event. Despite being hard on him, he later gave credit to his mother for his drive and competitive nature. Initially, he struggled in school due to his learning difficulties, but his mother recognized his passion for basketball as an outlet for channeling his energy, both on and off the court. Dillon started playing high school basketball for his local school, Father Henry Carr, before transferring to Finlay Prep in Henderson, Nevada. Finlay Prep is a high school basketball program in Henderson that is known for producing top-level basketball players and has been named one of the best high school basketball programs in the U.S. Several current NBA players have also participated in the program, including Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington, and Bol Bol. Brooks did his thing in Finlay and got offers from 4 different college programs, but eventually chose the University of Oregon. During his time in college, he had to constantly prove himself because of the American stereotype that Canadian players were soft. But Dillon isn't one to back down from a challenge, and he won everyone over due to his grit and relentless style of play. And his hard work paid off in a big way when he led the Ducks to the 2017 Final Four. After 3 seasons with the Oregon Ducks, Dillon averaged an impressive 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in just shy of 30 minutes a night. He entered the 2017 NBA Draft, and the Memphis Grizzlies picked him in the 2nd round. Dillon made an immediate impact in his rookie season, starting in 74 of 82 games, averaging 11 points. His 2nd season was cut short due to a toe injury, but he came back with the vengeance for the 2019-20 season and averaged 16 points. Brooks became a starter, and both his confidence and skills kept growing, and the hard work paid off. In February 2020, Dillon signed a $35 million extension with the Grizzlies. Later that year, he made his playoff debut, and even though they got eliminated by Utah in 5 games, Dillon had a fantastic series, averaging 26 points per game. He improved with each season and quickly established himself as a key player. And after Ja Morant's arrival, a new level of energy and skill was brought to the team. Ja's fast and dynamic style of play made the Grizzlies better straight away, and he became one of the best young players in the league. Combined with Dillon Brooks, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr., Memphis quickly became contenders in the Western Conference and built a fierce rivalry with the Golden State Warriors. And even though Dillon had displayed examples of his relentless competitive and sometimes cocky style of play during his first NBA seasons, he really caught everyone's attention when Memphis beat Golden State at the end of a regular season game during the 2021-22 season. In the post-game press conference, Brooks actually referred to the Grizzlies as a dynasty. And keep in mind, this is without having even played in a single Western Conference Finals yet. But the Grizzlies naturally gained some confidence throughout the season and finished 2nd in the West. But as fate would have it, they later met the Warriors in the conference semifinals, and this is where Dillon Brooks officially made the most hated list for the first time. In Game 2 of the series, we witnessed one of the worst plays that season.
To crack the seal, Payton right down the middle, he's fouled hard.
Gary Payton suffered a fractured elbow as a result of the play, and he would not return to the court until the finals. Both Steve Kerr and the Golden State players were furious, claiming it was a 100% intentional foul. Brooks was of course ejected from the game and had to sit out Game 3. The Warriors would eventually end up winning the series in 6 games, and in the post-game press conference, Dillon couldn't restrain himself yet again and took another stab at Golden State.
You know, we're young and they're getting old, so they know we're coming every single year.
become this season, Klay Thompson had definitely not forgotten what Dillon said and did half a year prior. With just minutes left of the game and Golden State being up by double digits, Klay hits a jumper, which results in Dillon stumbling into his own teammate and falling to the court. As Klay runs by, he taunts Dillon, getting all up in his space and seemingly mocking him for his previous words and actions. When asked about the situation after the game, Klay said the following: "We're talking dynasty and all that. You can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before. I don't think people realize how hard that is, the commitment and sacrifice it takes. You gotta sacrifice your body. I thought it was premature talk to even mention that word." And the Grizzlies made themselves easy targets as well. Before the game, they did a ridiculous pregame dance before entering the floor. This dance routine quickly went viral after the game and marked the beginning of their decline in popularity. Klay went after Dillon once again after the Grizzlies defeated the Warriors 133-119 on March 19th. Brooks had stepped up as a leader on the Memphis team, filling in for a suspended Ja Morant, scoring an impressive 18 points, shooting 7 for 10 from the floor and hitting all 4 of his three-point attempts. Klay, on the other hand, was not impressed. "I don't care about Dillon Brooks. When he retires, I don't think anyone will ever talk about Dillon Brooks ever again. I promise you, it's sweet right now, but wait 10 years. Dillon clapped right back at Klay, saying that he only talks about his 4 rings.
His motivation to us. We want a ring as well, but we need to go through the process of steps that, we did last year and keep going and learning from it all. It's friendly trash talk, but, I just hold a lot of real estate over there in San Francisco.
But it's not just the Golden State players and fans that strongly dislike the highly competitive Canadian. His former teammate and NBA nice guy, Mike Conley, isn't Dillon's biggest fan to say the least. After some fiery trash talk during last season's playoffs, Conley finally silenced Brooks by sinking a three-pointer and letting him know what's up right away. But this step over the following season was just flat-out disrespectful. Nikola Jokic exchanged some not-so-friendly words with Brooks after he appeared to grab Jokic's arm while scrambling for a potential rebound. He punched that man in the face while he was looking to drive towards the basket. He even managed to irritate Joel Embiid without doing much to him at all. And after making a block, Phoenix forward Torrey Craig let Dillon know that the Suns don't like him very much either. Damian Lillard gave him the death stare and some wisely chosen words to follow. He even shoved NBA poster boy Steph Curry, for crying out loud. It seems like every time Brooks steps onto the court this season, he's ready to engage in some kind of physical altercation or mental warfare. And despite the fact that Brooks plays hard and commits questionable fouls on a regular basis, his opponents are reacting quickly, as if they want to let him know they don't rock with him or his style of play. Dillon even got into it with none other than FS1 host and NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe in a match against the Los Angeles Lakers in January. Shannon said the incident started when he told Brooks he was too small to guard LeBron James, and the two exchanged words. Suddenly, every Grizzly player on the court got involved, and Shannon Sharpe had to be escorted out of the arena. After the game, Dillon brushed away any questions regarding the incident and said he didn't care about any of that and that Shannon was just a blogger or whatever. The disrespect. Also, in a game against the Cavs in February, things got heated between Dillon and Donovan Mitchell. Dillon was charging towards the basket in the third quarter when a player swooped in to block his shot, causing him to fall to the ground. But that's when things took a crazy turn. When he fell to the ground, he somehow hit Mitchell in the groin area, causing Spida to snap instantly. The Cavs guard threw the ball back at Brooks, which resulted in a shoving match between the two. And before we knew it, they were both wrestling on the floor and the chaos was complete. After the game, Mitchell had some choice words for Brooks and accused him of resorting to dirty tactics because he couldn't handle guarding him. That's just who he is. We've seen it a bunch in this league with him. Him and I have had our personal battles for years. Quite frankly, I've been busting his ass for years. His most notable rival, though, is undoubtedly Draymond Green. Brooks and Green have been going head-to-head since Brooks entered the league, but their feud has taken on a life of its own over the past few seasons, both on and off the court. During a recent game where the Grizzlies beat Golden State, the two stole the show with a heated on-court altercation, followed by a classic media feud between Draymond and Dillon. In the second quarter, Brooks extended Memphis's lead with a crucial bucket, which led to one of the most comical and unforgettable sequences of the season. After the game, Dillon went to call Draymond's podcast cute and encouraged him to continue doing it.
Keep doing his podcast, keep blogging, keep doing his thing off the court. It's cute, it's fun for him.
Draymond, on the other hand, stated that there is no rivalry with Memphis because they have yet to win anything. Because one team has to win and another team has to win. That's what makes a rivalry. Not because one team talk like they can beat you. Everyone can win in March. Draymond went on to say that he doesn't get baited into technical fouls, which is probably what separates him from Brooks. But Dillon took it to a whole nother level in a locker room interview when asked if some of the things Green had said made him mad.
No, because I know I'm a better player than him. I could do the same stuff like he does. That's easy. That's just showing up to work. It's the fact that, he was trying to, pin my teammates against me as a low blow. These are my guys. We grew it all together. I ain't out there getting physical altercations with my teammates. I sit there and talk to them. Not break them down, but, build them up.
It goes without saying that if or when they meet in the upcoming playoffs, there will be some crazy entanglements involving the two, and we can't wait for it. And speaking of entanglements, Lonzo Ball finds himself in a tricky situation these days and recently had cartilage transplant surgery on his troubled left knee. This was his third surgery in a little over a year and could cause him to miss the entirety of the upcoming 2023-24 season. The 25-year-old point guard has been out since January of last year, and many believe this could be the end of his NBA career. I made a video about the whole situation and how important Lonzo is to the Chicago Bulls. Check it out.